Best drum machines of all time? Let's just get right to the list. Number 10, the Electro Harmonix DRM32. Hailing from 1978, the Electro Harmonix digital rhythm matrix produced 32 different rhythms from 8 drum sounds, which even now are still very much usable. That's if you can ever track one down. Even on eBay, finding a DRM32 is quite a challenge these days. Number 9, the Roland CompuRhythm CR-78. Moving on to 1979, the year which saw Roland release their first rhythm machine to use a microprocessor. The CR-78 offered up 14 analog drum tones with 34 presets, but more importantly, 4 programmable memory locations for storing patterns. These are probably a bit more common on the secondhand market these days than, say, a DRM32, but that doesn't mean it will be cheap though. Expect these to change hands for serious money. Number 8, the Roland TR-808. First released in 1980 onto an unsuspecting world, this transistor rhythm drum machine, or rhythm composer, has featured on more hit records than any other. This legendary drum machine and legendary kick drum sound was a giant in hip-hop and electronic music. Units are still available on the second-hand market, but command legendary prices. Number 7, the Oberheim DMX programmable digital drum machine. Released in 1981 and featuring 24 drum sounds and 8 voice polyphony and 8 outputs, the DMX also featured a card slot for changing drum sounds. The DMX found itself adopted by many artists and genres during the 80s due to its punchy sounding drums, which were samples of actual instruments. Number 6, the Linn LM2 drum computer, or Linn Drum. Released in 1982, following up on 1980's LM1. This year saw Linn introduce more features, better quality samples, and a more affordable price with the LM2. The LM2 found its way onto an abundance of 1980s music albums, including albums from Prince, Peter Gabriel, and Jean-Michel Jarre. Sampling quality had by this time moved up to 35 kHz, but there were options to upgrade the LM2 using new chips. Another feature was the ability to store patterns and back them up onto cassette tapes. Remember them? Number 5, the Roland TR-909. 1984 saw Roland release their successor to its TR-808, the Roland TR-909. Part analog, part sample-based, but with added MIDI control. The TR-909 played a monumental part in electronic music history and still does to this day. Similar to the TR-808, expect to see these units changing hands for lots of money these days. Number 4, the EMU SP1200. Released in 1987, EMU's phrase sampler was a combination drum machine and sequencer with a 12-bit sampling resolution, fitted with hip-hop during the late 80s and 90s. Its limited sampling time was overcome with many artists sampling 33 1/3 RPM records in at 44 RPM. Number 3, the Alesis SR-16. Debuting in 1990 and arguably one of the most popular drum machines ever made, probably due to its features and affordable price. The SR-16 boasted over 230 sounds, complete MIDI support, and built-in effects. The SR-16 also featured 16 voice polyphony and 2 stereo pair outputs. Its straightforward operation meant you could be up and running in no time. Although its sound palette was geared more to rock, you can dig deep enough into the machine and there are electronic-type drum sounds to be found. Number 2, the Roland TR-8. Roland's 2014 homage to both the TR-909 and TR-808 was a masterstroke, making both those trademark sounds affordable and attainable. Brought up to date with USB connectivity, built-in effects, and further doubling up as an audio interface, this machine continues to please old fans and gain new ones. Then, shortly after the machine was released, Roland also announced the TR-707 and TR-727 sound set options for the TR-8. Sweet. Number 1, also released in 2014, was Elektron's analogue Rhythm, probably the current flagship drum machine you can lay your hands on. This is one fantastically built and sounding drum machine. Essentially an 8-voice analog drum machine, but with sample support, analog filter, and distortion per voice, coupled with that Elektron sequencer that is a truly exceptional performance instrument. So that's our list, our favorites of all time. Is yours here? Drop us some comments below if you agree or disagree. Also, hit the subscribe box so you can catch more of our tutorials and videos. Or head over to creatingtracks.com for more. Thanks for watching.